Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's show, Happy Father's Day. So, I just want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It takes a special man step up to the plate to be a father. And even though the day isn't as special as some of the other days, it just goes without saying, fatherhood means a lot, even for myself as being a father, husband, So I just wanted to say shout outs to you guys. And look, I know, one episode for today. But look, Father's Day, church, dinner, the whole nine. But I had to give you some content, though. There will be no day that passes that you don't get this content. You know this. So today's topic, PFF comes out with the best receiving corps in the NFL. Look, we already know who the 3 top teams are. Those are solidified. You can't even argue them. But you're going to be surprised where the Baltimore Ravens rank in this list. On this list. Their placement. So without further ado, I'm going to read this list from PFF, then we're going to break it down. Okay? So the top receiving corps for 2023. Number 1, the Bengals. We already know they got the best receiving corps in the NFL, the entire NFL. Boyd, Higgins, Chase. I mean, it's ridiculous. They are loaded. Hence why, Baltimore Ravens fans say, look, Joe Burrow's good, but come on now, bro. The man got weapons galore. Proven weapons. Number 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. I agree with this, actually. Matter of fact, I don't agree with this. I would have them a step down. But I got Philadelphia top 3. You can't argue with what they've been able to put on it. With A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You know what I mean? Look at this. They said that Devontae Smith had an 80-plus receiving grade while putting up 1,300 yards on the season, or A.J. Brown did. And then Devontae, of course, really took his game to another level. So they're loaded. Now, number 3, I would have it number 2, the Miami Dolphins. Look, Tyreek Hill is the best non-quarterback player in the entire NFL. He changes the game more than any singular player not named Lamar or Patrick Mahomes. What he does to a defense is absolutely awe-inspiring because they can't play too close. They can't play too far. They have to play just right. Because if they play too close, they can speed past you. If they play too far, then he gets a dig or he catches a quick slant. And then you got to contend with them in space. You don't want to contend with Tyreek Hill in space. So it's double HE double hockey sticks on wheels when regarding Miami Dolphins. And I haven't even brought up who. The Penguin himself, Jalen Waddle. So those are by far probably the 2 best wide receivers together in the entire NFL. I would have them at number 2. The reason why I put Cincinnati over them is because they have 3 capable 1,000-yard receivers on that team. And not even saying capable, all 3 of them have done it. Multiple times, I might add. So, Tyler Boyd, had 1,000 yards receiving twice before Higgins, and Higgins had 2 or 1, and then came Chase, and you know what he did. So that team is lock and loaded. That's the only team that I would put over Miami. But I think Miami has the best duo in the entire league. Number 4, the San Francisco 49ers. Look, Debo, Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. Bruh, This is why, you remember when during the offseason where I was so scared? I'm like, look, if the 49ers would ever get their slimy little mittens on one named Lamar Jackson, the NFL would be broken. I felt like the league would block it because there would be nothing that you could do to be able to slow down or much less contend with what that offense would be capable of week in and week out. And in that offense, George Kittle would be absolutely lightning in a bottle. Why? Because Lamar would be targeting his tight ends also. He is not a guy, he likes big plays and stuff, but he loves his tight ends. Like George Kittle would become tight end 1AB in the league immediately if that would have happened. Thank God it didn't. We got to retain Lamar. But the San Francisco 49ers receiving corps is absolutely ridiculous. And not enough is spoken about Christian McCaffrey's ability to work in the slot. So technically you could just stretch out Ayuk and Debo on the outsides. You already got your tight end as George Kittle, who to me is the best blocking tight end in the entire NFL. And then you have that to contend to say, okay, move out of the backfield and almost to a almost like a 4 wide receiver set, even though they're not all wide receivers, but almost like a 4 wide receiver set, put him on the line, you know what I mean, and let him work and do his magic in the slot. And Christian McCaffrey has already shown, as good as he is in the slot, he's just as good running the ball. I expect the San Francisco 49ers to be electric next year. Number 5, Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Y'all remember me talking, I wanted Tyler Lockett. I think he's one of the most unsung wide receivers in the entire NFL. If you're a smart quarterback, Tyler Lockett is your best friend. People want to ask me about my best friend. That's what he is. Anybody working with him loves working with him because what Tyler Lockett does is he adjusts on the fly. Whatever a route is and he's seeing what you're doing well, he adjusts to it on the fly to make sure that you, as the quarterback, have a continuous or at least a consistent wide open target. And over the top, he's absolutely dynamite. Toe touch, over the shoulder, everything. Absolutely lightning. So I actually agree with this, right? Where I don't agree with now, this is where it becomes mucky. Dallas Cowboys are number 6. 6. Look. Cooks, I love Cooks. I wanted Cooks. CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup, I don't know. You know what? Yeah, no. See, yeah, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is way down on that list. Oh, and the Chargers are down on that list. Yeah, what are they doing? Listen, I've never seen, Jerry Jones is the biggest hype machine or biggest hype man. Forget Fat Man Scoop. I'm showing my age. Forget Fat Man Scoop being one of the greatest hype men of all time. Jerry Jones is the greatest hype man to ever live. Every single year, regardless of what they did the previous year, every year they got the best one of the top receiving corps, best defensive line, best offensive line, one of the best quarterbacks. Every single year, and every single year they come up short. So yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. So you can keep going. Number 7, Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson himself. Just like how Davante Adams is, because of what they do, they elevate every receiving core to top 10 simply because they're absolutely ridiculous by themselves. This is why also I have Miami so high, because Tyreek does that. Tyreek is one of those wide receivers that can elevate an entire team's offense by himself. And you paired him with Jalen Waddle. My God. So I'm not averse to Minnesota being number 7. And, of course, right after then, like I just said, because I did not know this, Las Vegas Raiders, Davante Adams. And remember, they lost the tight end. They lost the tight end to the Giants. So they don't even have him. They still got them top 10. But when you think about Hunter Renfrow, Austin Hooper, Davante Adams, and then you got, Josh Jacobs out the backfield, Great offensive unit, great weapons on the outside, great slot receiver. You really can't. Also, Hooper's been a reliable sort, like a reliable tight end throughout his tenure in the NFL. So I get it. I agree with it. Number 8, I'm not even going to argue with it. Number 9, the Buffalo Bills. Listen, I think the Buffalo Bills should be at least a step higher because I don't have Dallas being that high. Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis are an amazing duo. Amazing. They're unsung almost. Because what happens is everybody wants to sing the high exalted praise of one named Josh Allen. Hallelujah. Josh Allen! Because that's how the media treats him. Like he's the second coming of Jesus himself. But, I'm going to tell everybody this. Like I've said before, Stephon Diggs is a top 5 wide receiver in the entire NFL. And he proves it in and out. Gabe Davis is a great number 2. And because Josh Allen took a step back, they took a step back, even though they were open for a lot of those shots. So I'm not adverse to them. They are a top 10 unit. Don't let anybody else tell you anything different. They are a top 10 unit. Because I tell you this right now, if Lamar had that type of top 10 production all that time, we would be having a lot different conversation of who's the best player in the entire NFL. Number 10, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think people forget just how good Mike Evans and Chris Godwin really are. Mike Evans is probably the most consistent wide receiver. He might go down to the most consistent wide receiver in the history of the NFL. 10 straight seasons, or 9 straight seasons, if I'm not mistaken. 1,000 yards. He's cracking a stack every season. Even on seasons where he didn't play all the games, he still crack 1,000. Hey, consistent, great hands, big playability, huge, 6'5", can go up and catch all the jump balls that you want, and he has good enough speed to threaten the safety, you know what I'm saying, so they can't just play all the way down. Absolute all-around guy, and Chris Godwin's an all-around receiver. That's definitely a top 10 receiving core. Got no problem with them saying that. Respect to them, too. And Russell Gage, wide receiver 3, no hate coming my way. Now, here's where I push back on some of this. They got the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver core at number 11. The reason why I say I push against that, because there's no way on God's green earth you can argue to me that the Kansas City Chiefs have a better wide receiving core than the Chargers. See, this is them trying to save, Justin Herbert foolery. You know what I mean? Putting up stats. He's the biggest check down in the league. He's the Austin Eckler machine. That's what he does. Check down, check down, check down, check down. Someone turn that into a song. That'll be the next hit. When you want to go low, just check down, check down, check down, check down, check down. Let me go. Check down. Check down. Because that's what he does. And the reason why I brought that up is because he's right under that at number 12. The Chargers have a top 10 wide receiving core. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, like Eckler, how he receives out of the backfield, just like a Christian McCaffrey. Like, stop the cap. This man, Justin Herbert, has a top 10 receiving unit in the league. That's why I keep saying he's putting up stats and not winning. But he gets all the excuses. Absolutely ridiculous. Put him at them. And they have the audacity right after to put the Chicago Bears. Hayaka. This I do not agree with. The Bears being at number 13 is an absolute slap to the face. They're on paper, maybe. DJ Moore's a stud. We all know that. Chase Claypool, there's been reports coming out that he's been foolery in training camp. You know what I mean? He hasn't showed up how he's supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, get out of here with that. Number 13, bro. That's... Number 14, Los Angeles Rams. With Cooper Kupp and the way that him and whatever the guy, I forgot the quarterback's name, you know what I'm saying, Matthew Stafford, can play together. I mean, almost putting up 2,000 yards. those type of stats would be top of the receiving core list anywhere. Cooper Kupp puts up enough receiving yards for 2 receivers. Hey! Same thing with Tyreek. They put up enough receiving yards for 2 receivers. So I got nothing hating about this. I would have them a little higher simply because of the dominance of a Cooper Kupp in that slot. But hey, I get it. It took a step back as a team. They got a step back now. Here's where number 15 comes in. The Baltimore Ravens. Rashad Bateman, Odell Beckham Jr., Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers. I would say this. On paper, it's great. They got to play first, right? I'm not crap or poo-pooing on my team on anything. But like I always want to say stuff, you know what I mean, that's real. Can they do it? Can they put it together on the field? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. There's a couple teams that are under here that you might be like, I don't know. Like Detroit Lions. Are you going to say that we have a better receiving core than the Detroit Lions? Are you going to say we have a better receiving core than, what's the other one right here? The Saints? Or even the Commanders with Terry McLaurin? So, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. While they're at 15, middle of the pack, it's a lot better than whatever Lamar's ever had to work with. And that's a big jump considering he's probably at a bottom 2 receiving core in the league for most of his tenure. But look, I'm not gonna crap on this list. I think this is a lot better list than what CBS came up with. But I'm gonna tell you this: tomorrow we're gonna go over their QBs, and there's gonna be hot fire. I mean, does seem flame fire, because I saw their list for the QBs, and I was absolutely disgusted also again. So you know what I mean. I'm not gonna poo-poo on this list. It's not a bad list. I'm happy that the Baltimore Ravens are at least middle of the pack now in the receiving department. Now we just got to see if they can put it together. But showing you guys why I was so adamant on getting like a Tyreek Hill and stuff like that. You see how dominative their receiving core made as soon as you put Tyreek Hill on that team. I just wonder, and I know everyone's going to say, you can't wish for things. Could you imagine Tyreek Hill with Lamar Jackson, with Mark Andrews, with Rashad Bateman? Yo! Could you imagine? So look, I'm happy with the list. I think it's credible, and I think it holds integrity to this list. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments section what you guys think about this list and how would you have them ranked 1 through 15. Oh, and one quick thing before we end. I want to know what you guys think also. How do you guys feel about the new thumbnails? I always try to give, anything changing with the platform. I always try to give you guys all like the rundowns and everything. What do you guys think about it? If you like it, if you don't like it, do you think it stands out more? Do you think it gives a little more oomph or pop to the channel? Let me know down in the comment section. Okay? But once again, that's all the another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you guys remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And once again, if you want to donate, bottom of the screen, QR code, CashApp located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it, money sign, The Wunderkind Show, and the Patreon, also located in the description of every video that we do. So once again, this is The Wunderkind Show. Show's Nitro signing off. Happy Father's Day once again. And you guys knows my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yep.